ChatGPT has been out for a month and the things people have been doing with it are beyond amazing. In this video, I will explain 10 use cases for ChatGPT-5 that you can implement starting today. See, the big difference with this update is that ChatGPT now can choose between the different models, and it does have a more human feel. It can reason better and it can give you a better output. But the most important functionality is the agent mode. The context window has been greatly extended, so now you can get ChatGPT to do things for you. So what's different this time? See, unlike older models, GPT-5 can automatically switch between quick responses and deeper thinking mode. It writes more naturally, it feels more agent-like, and it can handle bigger, more complex tasks with ease. Let me walk you through exactly what that looks like. So the first use case is agent mode for research and analysis. The extended context window changes everything with ChatGPT. Now you can ask GPT-5 to run real research, pull information from multiple sources, and analyze financials, and even compare market trends without you doing all the legwork. For example, here's a prompt that I added with information from a small business, and I asked ChatGPT to do the entire analysis and justify whether it makes sense to invest $25,000 into this company. Now the agent went for 8 minutes, searched through 50 resources, and came down with this entire conclusion, looking at the entire earnings, the PE ratios, the operating profits of the company, and came down with the final suggestion based on all of these things mentioned to suggest that, probably it's not best to invest in this company based on this and based on that. So it's crazy to think that this gave me a reasoned recommendation and detailed recommendation at the same time in under an hour. Now the second use case you can implement is smarter job and talent matching. See, on LinkedIn, most people file through applications blindly. They send hundreds of messages, but now with agent mode, you can flip the script. For example, explain the skills that you have and the roles that you want, and let it search, shortlist, and even draft personalized outreach messages. Now we can use this ourselves as business owners for hiring. So we gave GPT-5 the job description and told it to focus on candidates in a specific area. Now, as you can see here in this prompt, so I'm looking to hire experienced e-commerce specialists for my company. They need to be able to start working in downtown Dubai starting the next month. All the job descriptions are provided, the task, and as you can see here, I did not give ChatGPT my LinkedIn information yet, but it went through using the LinkedIn page and asked me to sign in. Now, if you want to do this for yourself and give it your password and your email, it can go and search for job applications, or it can go find potential employees for you without you doing anything. Now, the third use case with GPT-5 is content research that actually works. And for me, this is kind of huge because content research usually takes a lot of time for you to come up with ideas or for you to research. But with GPT-5, you can feed it the YouTubers that inspire you, link to your own channel, and ask it to analyze both inputs. It will study what's trending, compare it to your content, and give you 10 new video ideas tailored exactly to your style. And that is a game changer because it removes hours of scrolling for inspiration. As you can see here, I just took screenshots of 3 channels and I told it this is my main account, do the research, and then it conducted all the research in 8 minutes, analyzed all of these channels, looked at their views. I mean, this usually takes 3 hours to do it on your own. And then in the end, came up with some suggestions for what we can do. 5 video ideas for September 2025, Google VO3 versus Grok Imagine, build a custom GPT to manage your FBA store, Amazon seller fees and policy changes in August 2025. So this is like up-to-date information that it's giving me. And some of these ideas are actually really nice ideas, like building customer support, chatbots for e-commerce, productivity hacks for busy entrepreneurs. If you are a content creator or you're a business owner looking to create content, this could be a great way to get you some inspiration and some ideas for your next topics. Now, the fourth use case is website and profile optimization. You can upload a screenshot of your website or LinkedIn profile, and GPT-5 will review it like a conversion expert. It suggests not only better copy, but also layout, design, and usability tweaks. So as you can see here, I uploaded a screenshot of my own LinkedIn account. I haven't optimized this LinkedIn account, and I just asked it to act as a LinkedIn branding and marketing expert. Now, the output comparatively to the previous ChatGPT is way better because right now it's able to go through everything that I mentioned about my own profile so far in our conversations, and was able to design a better about section and help professionals, entrepreneurs escape income ceilings by building profitable Amazon private label brands. Now, this is not really like exactly what it is that I would want to do, but I will show you an example of what fine-tuning this would look like. And then it just gives me an entire LinkedIn profile that is actually tailored to the information that I mentioned only in whatever that's here. So it does some Google research and finds out some information. And then here is exactly how it would look like when I ask it, give give me a layout for how would my LinkedIn profile look. So modeling this is actually really cool. Looks really nice. This is not me, but as you can see here with the actual LinkedIn bio, I've just taken some steps where I've asked it to ask me the questions it needs to be able to craft the most amazing LinkedIn profile for my prospective clients. And as you can see here, I gave it all the information and it was just like a lot of back and forth. But what I got in the end is really high quality copywriting. The quality is completely different to whatever you can get from GPT-4. So this is like having a full audit done for you and complete optimization with a copywriter that would take a few days in under an hour without paying anyone. Now, the fifth use case for GPT style is the ability to mimic your own tone. Hallucinations are down, tone control is so much better, and style mimicry is sharper. That means GPT-5 can write LinkedIn posts, Instagram scripts, or emails in your own voice without the awkward robotic tone older versions struggled with. For example, here's a framework I designed for Custom GPT that details how I would want a LinkedIn profile to look, how I would like the sound to be based on things that increase convergence. And I told it you're a top performing LinkedIn content creator. A recent interview with Eric Schmidt where he raises concerns about the energy requirements of US data center. This is the topic that I want you to write on. And it delivered the topic similar to the style that I gave it inside the LinkedIn profile. This was not a generic ChatGPT tone. This was actually the tone that I provided inside the document and provided me a ready-to-use LinkedIn post that stands out from all the free ChatGPT chatter you would see on the platform. So combine this with tools like structured prompt builders and you'll notice a dramatic jump in quality. Now, the sixth use case is really important for me and possibly a lot of you, which is better planning for travel. See, planning trips, events, or even projects feels different now because GPT-5 thinks longer and it doesn't just spit out a list of random things. It weighs options, cross-checks details, and builds thorough itineraries tailored to your exact preferences and budget. Now, just to give you some preference, I'm really good at this, but it takes a lot of time. So I found the exact flights for a trip I would like to take, and I asked ChatGPT to check for the following. So how much would the flight upgrade be for China Southern Airlines business class? Now, to do this, usually I'd have to go through Reddit, a lot of web search to jump on Flyer Talk. Now I could just ask it to check what is the recent information in the last 48 months regarding upgrade price or upgrade strategies with China Southern Airlines. And now I told it I need the information to be within 2 years old. I told it for the hotels, I need it to be a 4 or 5 star hotel. But the key thing is I need it to be 4 stars and above on Google and on Booking.com, just in case one is altered or tampered with. And also because in China, Google reviews aren't so big. And so I asked it has to be 4 to 5 stars and it has to have more than 4 reviews on Google and on Booking.com. It has to be an international chain. 5 options per city. I gave it the entire locations and it thought for 27 minutes, did 56 searches and went through 361 sources. For context, I spent hours doing this. And so I just gave it what I would want, and it actually gave me a really good list of hotels. Because the Four Seasons hotels in Shenzhen, or the Shangri-La in Shenzhen, or the Crown Plaza, I've actually stayed in this hotel, and this is exactly the area that I would want. And so I was able to find that, and these are the exact hotels that I would go for anyways. And for Beijing, I mean, I'm not really familiar with the places, so I can trust the next recommendation because the first one is validated from my own experience. And in Shanghai, the French Concession, so these are some hotels that I'm familiar with. This is actually a really good hotel. This is exactly where we stayed at. Well, right next to it, or it was rebranded, I'm not really sure exactly, but we stayed exactly in this place, at the place called the Langham in Qingdai in Shanghai. So it's really nice that it found this hotel because this is exactly the hotel that I would like to stay in the next time I'm there in Shanghai. So this feature is a game changer for every busy professional or busy entrepreneur to plan your next meeting, to plan your next travel, and just to plan your next purchase. The seventh use case is interactive content creation. So I saw a video from Sam Altman talking about how he coded his first game as a 12-year-old, and then talking about how he asked ChatGPT to create the same exact game, and I thought that was very interesting. And I saw that within Canvas mode, GPT-5 can now code full 2D games in minutes. So I asked it to design a Tetris game, and it generated all the mechanics ready to play in preview. So as you can see, I just told it in plain English, create a fun game of Tetris Tetris, where the bricks are colored and the background is happening in space. And the game is actually start, and it's an interactive game. I can move the thing left, I can move it right. So now the first brick is on. Oh, I won the game. Well, I mean, it's not much, but imagine how brands and educators can use this functionality to engage audience in new ways through better prompting and on-demand visualization. Now, the 8th use case is internal tools and dashboard. This is the most amazing feature for business owners, because instead of hiring a developer for every small need, you can now ask GPT-5 to build dashboards or calculators instantly. For example, I asked it to design an interactive dashboard that displays data across a 12-month timeline from January to December that would show potential financial information. For example, churn, MRR. I gave it some design requirements, and this is mostly in plain English. And as you can see here, it actually generated the actual dashboard that I can actually interact with, change my numbers, and visually be able to see how the numbers are looking over a 12-month period. This is actually super crazy because, for example, I could change the subscribers to 100 and I could change the churn rate to 3% or maybe 90%, and then I can see exactly how focusing on churn instead of, for example, focusing on price could affect the overall trajectory in a 12-month period. See, this is really amazing because it can help you model and see things, whether it is something to do with your own finances, or if you're building your own software, this lets you test things out or see things out for free before going to other platforms where you would have to pay for each implementation. This, to me, is the biggest game changer with GPT-5. The 9th use case has to do with using custom GPTs as advisors. You can upload a document from authors, mentors, or your own playbooks. GPT-5 will absorb the context and act like an advisory board you can consult without as much hallucination and with much better clarity. Imagine asking for career advice as if it came from your favorite entrepreneurs or strategists, but grounded in their real philosophies. For example, I told you you're a world-class ghostwriter, deep researcher, and non-fiction book strategist. This was the prompt. And I told it, I want you to investigate the EOS founder philosophy and all the learnings he presented on starting a business and building the system. Now, if you're not familiar who's behind the EOS, it's Gino Wickman, and this has been a fantastic book for my business. And so it worked for 7 minutes and gave me an entire outline of the most important ideas that Gino Wickman has spoken about on the internet, and it thought for 7 minutes, did 10 searches, and went through 74 sources. So for example, you could be fascinated with an entrepreneur or an influencer that has some unique ideas and would like to compile all of that into one resource. This is a really fantastic starting place to get your own document or to extract as much of their learning as possible for free. And now for the last use case, which is building AI agents and workflows. Finally, GPT-5 integrates seamlessly with tools like N8N and Make.com. That means you can build agents that manage your calendar, convert articles into posts, draft emails, or even act as personal assistant, all powered by GPT-5's deeper reasoning. For example, this is a workflow that I have used for WhatsApp, where you can send a picture, send a text message, send an audio, and then it goes through the OpenAI ChatGPT-5 model and then gives you a response based on the new reasoning functionality. This could make some of your workflows better, or could give you access to better information for more complex tasks. Those are the 10 ways GPT-5 is changing how we work and create. Which one stood out to you the most? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And if you're serious about upskilling yourself with AI, I'll be posting more videos on this channel. So make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.